All right. Everything should be back. Started. Let's see. Do, do, do. Just making sure things are running. For some reason, wanting to not. All right. Test 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, it's muted. Okay. Welcome back. Day 2 of programming my own game. I had to change it, unfortunately, to be desktop capture because didn't want to capture it. So even though this is going to make it so much easier because I could just click the play button and then you can see it all working. It should pop up here any second. Hey, okay, all the keys still work. Wall thing, I'm sure. Yep, that's still sticky. I didn't actually bring up my page for my tips and tricks. That disappears on contact. Um, I'm just kind of thinking of here for a second. Would it be easier to put like a little GUI on the side here and then not worry about it? Like the whole desk upgrade thing? Like you just click upgrade, like, because I feel like it's going to be repetitive to keep going back to a desk, even though it kind of makes sense that, hey, that's how you upgrade things. Um, I don't know. Let's work on the room a little bit here because it feels kind of basic. All right, so what we need is assume objects. Hold on, I gotta make sure that I'm on the right, yeah, right instance. Of course, this is gonna be all in the wrong layer because, you know. So what's this gonna do? Is this gonna be a problem that it overlaps? I also want to edit that floor. Okay. What is that under sprites? Nope. Path, no. Tile set. That's right. Because I just want this to be a tile. It's not actually going to be a floor. There's probably an easier way of doing this. Okay, first of all, I'm going to see what happens when this overlaps the edge. If that becomes a problem or not. No, it does not. Can't resize the window, which is fine. I'll deal with that later. The whole resizing thing. This looks kind of like you can go off to the edge. Okay, I'm going to move this down here. There's definitely an easier way of doing what I'm doing. Maybe put like a filing cabinet or something back here. We can have it sit on top. Another thing I don't actually have open would be the website for Game Maker. So let me just do that real quick. There we go. Just drag the window over. Let's see. Game Maker tutorials. I definitely want to try making a button. But before I do anything with this, I kind of want to actually set up the whole area. Um, thinking. I'm gonna make this 3 wide. Maybe like the more you do, the more rooms you unlock that have different things. Because I want this to all be wall over here. All right, so that would be here. Start adding some solid wall. What if it's because it has a custom hitbox? That desk is having an issue. Um, just trying to think of like how I'd want this to lay out. Like, what would his room be? Where should he start? That kind of stuff. Because this is room 1. This is where you're gonna start. Um, I'm almost tempted to actually create room 0, and that'd be like the start menu, where you can like save and all that kind of stuff. I might do that. So let's come over here. Assets, create room. I'm gonna name this to title screen room. Maybe like room underscore title screen. I'll use underscores because those are so much easier to use than spaces. Okay. So room title screen is going to be that. So now that's going to be your home screen. So this is probably where I'm going to start learning about the GUI and how to set up that. How to make buttons in Game Maker. Here we go. So I will need to make a texture, a sprite, a sound, and a font. Create an object button. That's just its own little thing, is it? There's fonts here. That's where room order is. Okay. Oh, I gotta create an object. Okay. So start up here. Let's create an asset of object. We'll call it object button. Create an object and name it object button. So I'll probably do obj for object underscore button underscore start. And now I got to choose a sprite. So we're gonna have to create one. We'll call this, and I'm putting all this stuff in the wrong thing. Hold on. Yeah, I already have object button. Where is this gonna save? Sprite, start button. I'll rename it if I have to. Okay. Also might make it highlight when you click on it too. I think that would be pretty nice. Okay. Edit image. Okay, and that's where it's gonna do it. So we're gonna go here to sprites. Put it in the sprites one, just so I know where it's at. Then it looks like they just created a square button for theirs. So I'm going to do, I don't know, maybe like, what would be a good color? Like an orange, maybe? They used orange. Let's go ahead and use orange like they did. It's about, maybe like this pumpkin-y orange. I mean, it's close, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's too much. So we'll take the eraser. We'll shave a little off the top. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, and then we have a square box. And then I want to kind of make it 3D, so I'm going to make it somewhat like their button. So I'm going to add like a little border around it. Like a multicolored border. Let's get the eraser. Sometimes I lose the little buttons. Oh, that's a little oopsie there. Easy fix. The problem is the background's transparent, which I'm using the same colors as the, I think it's called alpha. Go some more of that. And I did not. Oh, I could have used a grid. You know, that would have been probably very helpful. Also, I could change the alpha. Oh, you could change the alpha. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I could have probably knocked that down to like 8. Yeah, like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and round out the corners. So we're going to do 3. And then the eraser, we're going to round out the corners. Gonna grab the dark pencil. Accidentally, yep. All right, that looks pretty good. Good starter button. I'm gonna be really interesting about this, and I'm going to actually make this a little bit lighter up here. Like so. I might actually make that too wide. To give it kind of like that. Oh, geez, I can't draw apparently. Not on mouse anyway. Give it that like shiny button look. And then we can edit the shadow down here. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and save. We will go back to here. It looks like I missed a little pixel up there. There it is right there. There we go. That's not a bad looking button. Not to begin with, anyway. Okay. So now we have our sprite for our button, which is our image. And then we have our actual object of a button that we could place in the world and do like different events with. Okay. So the next step, using GameMaker built-in Nice Slice feature is an easy way to scale sprites for things like buttons, menus, and text boxes. To set up your sprite, edit the sprite editor and go to 9-slice selection and click the active 9-slice box. Oh, okay. So we'll go back into here. I just understood what it, because I was messing with this once, the 9-slice before. No idea what it meant. Now I do. Okay, so 9-slice is over here. Can activate it. Can I just, no, I can't. And then we'll bring this down to like 20. They showed more of like a actually kind of a deeper inbox. Okay, so they went 64 or not 36 in, but they have a 128 pixel button. I have a 64 pixel button. So I need to be half of that. So I need to be 6 would be 315 18? Probably I probably did the math wrong. Yeah, I did. 15 plus 3. 15, 16, 17, 18. No, that's right. Oh, their button goes to the full border. That's why. Okay. Let's do that then. Can I just straight up scale this? Maybe. Mirror brush, rectangle, paint selected, magic wand, line tool. Usually it's like Control T and stuff. Oh, I'm not even at the top. Nope. 50? No. I meant, you know what I could always do, and I'm definitely going to do it. I'm going to come up here, and then I'm going to Can I just like copy? And I'll just do this, this, and this. Oh, that's interesting. You can also change the color of it too. That's nice. Just clean this up over here. I might have to make the like thing a little different. That one's a little too big. There we go. And I've seemed to have messed up this a little. That's okay. We can fix it. That doesn't seem right. It is right though. Except I think it's one too high. Yeah, it's all one too high. Oh, whoopsie. We need to actually go here. Yeah, because there's multiple ones here, so I messed up this side too. Okay, well, that's the wrong color. Let's get the eyedropper tool. And we're going to have to paint this 1 pixel down. Grab this. The eraser. Okay, that's better looking. But I'm going to round it out a little bit more. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see what it looks like for right now. Because right now it just looks like a giant block. And I have a feeling it's going to be kind of hard to see the... I think I should have started with like an oval or something. Okay. Okay. So active 9 slices there. Okay, 9 slice. You can now test it out. The sprite will scale with the preview window on the right. What? This? Oh, okay. Okay. That doesn't look right. Oh, because the button can only get so small because of how I set this. Okay. So if I was to do something like this, I want to be like 1 pixel off the thing. Like that. Now I can make it smaller. Oh yeah, that's much better. Oh, that's really cool. I like that. Learned a new skill. 9, what's it called? 9 slice? Slices into 9 things. Okay. So what they did is they animated their sprite and it has 3 frames. So I assume that's what happens when you hover over it and maybe click it. So frame 1 would be like this. Frame 2. That's the problem, is that okay. Let's add frame. Copy. Paste. Delete that frame. And they did like a lighter one. So let's do that. And then they had it go back with like a darker border. Okay. So we are going to color pick this. Just to make sure we have the right thing, we're going to make it much darker. Like to the point where it's darker than the inside. Why are you not? What? Okay. There we go. So like that. So now we have frame 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Our sprite has 3 frames, but an animation speed of 0. This is because we don't actually want our sprite to animate. We want the sprite original point to be centered for this demo. But you can experiment with different origin points for this project. Okay. So I need to change this to middle center. There we go. Okay, programming the button. Next, we need to create an event. So add event, create, visual code. Okay, so we have hovered and then we have click. So we need to create 2 variables for it, and they both need to be set to false by default. So I need to assign variable and another assign variable, and we're going to call this one hovering, which its value is going to be false. And this one is going to be clicked and false. Okay. Let's copy that. Next, go to the objects variable defined. So this here. And click new variable. Tab and add a new variable. Name the variable button text. Button underscore text. Just set the string. And set the default value to default without the quotation. Okay. And I need to set it to string. So string is the type of data that's written to it. Kind of like integer is a number. I think Boolean might be also. I don't remember if Boolean's a number or text. An expression which is like plus or minus, list, color. Yeah. Okay. Next, add the draw event. Assume under new event. Next, add the draw. It's just regular draw. Game Maker automatically draws your sprite, but it can be overridden override the behavior by creating your own draw event. Okay. Since we want to draw our button on the GUI layer, leave this draw event blank. Make sure the event has at least one comment, which it does by default. If it's completely empty, you can add / comment. In a GUI visualizer, place an exit code break. So that's all it wants me to do. Okay. Next, add draw GUI. Now we're going to do this. Add the following line, which is draw underscore self, close bracket, or parentheses, colon. But I'm going to do function call. Right, yep. Function call, and we're going to do draw self underscore self. It looks like we want the arguments to be blank and the target to be blank. Maybe. Hold on. This tells GameMaker to draw the sprite exactly as the drawn event held no code or action. Now we need the following 4 lines of code, which is going to be interesting because I also need to put this under here. 3, 4. Down a little bit longer. Okay, so we are going to do draw underscore set underscore, and I'm going to be smart about this. I'm going to copy that part because we have to duplicate it a little bit later. I'm just going to paste that real quick. The align. And text. So we need font to be FNT underscore button. The argument to be FA underscore middle. So this one's calling for the align for it to be the font to be middle. And the button set font to be font button. And then we are going to set, did I miss one? Hold on, I think I duplicated one. Asian line. I'm missing color. Hold on. Why is there 4? Did I? What? Okay, I think I may have jumped the gun here on draw set text. Yeah, it's supposed to be draw text. Draw set color. And then color, or C underscore, color we want. White. So I'm pretty much just going to follow their tutorial. And I'll change things to how I see fit and how I want the thing to work. And then they do another function call, which interestingly enough, they don't draw self, draw text. The game tells maker to use fonts, should align. What color to draw it? In this case, we'll be using the font button, align it to the center and drawing it in white. You can experiment with values here, learn more. Okay, and this is where it's actually going to go into detail about the font call. Blah. For draw underscore text. We're gonna add another argument for y. And then we need another argument for underscore text. And we're not going to have a target. Okay. This line of code draws the text to the screen. The full draw GUI event, therefore, it looks like this. Okay. Draw self. So it should be just the 6, I think. Yes. So the 6 I have here. Ooh. No. Okay. Uh, our button is now ready to be placed on our floor. The GUI layer. Before we can place the button on the floor, we need to talk about GUI layer and how it differs from GameMaker's normal drawing events and why you would want to use it. If you already know this information, you could skip to make the button interactable. Many things in GameMaker work based on the position in the room. For example, a built-in draw event draws an instance of the object using the XY values as room coordinates. This means that the button will not move with the camera. Oh, and then it shows a little uh, image of the button moving with the background because they're having the wall in the background move. Okay. If you zoom or rotate the camera, the problem will get even worse. So it's pretty much just making it the reason it's calling for X and Y of these values and why you're not just dropping it in the room is this keeps the placement the same. Actually, I think that's in the room. Is it this one? Yeah, this one. Okay. The GUI layer solves the problem by using a different coordinate system. On the GUI level, the top left of your screen is always 0, 0, and the bottom right of your screen is always the height, width, and height of the GUI layer, regardless of your camera moves, zooms, or rotates. This means a couple of different things. First, when you draw something on your GUI, it will not move or rotate when your camera moves or rotates. Secondly, this means that your GUI level can have a different resolution than your camera. For example, this project sets the camera's width to be half and the width of the height of the viewport. Interesting. I don't. Um. I'm not quite too sure. However, this game camera both zoom and move in correct size and correct position. I'm just gonna turn that off right now because I'm not 100% sure. Okay, making the button interactable. Now that you have the understanding how the GUI layer works, you could put the button in your room if you want to place it. We'll show that on GUI. For this project, we'll keep it simple since our room is the same width and height as our viewport. Therefore, our GUI layer, we can use our room as a guide for placing the button. If we want the button to appear in the center of our screen, we should place it in the center of the room. Okay, so I need the button. This one. I think that's what I need it to be divisible by. Another thing I want to do, because they already have the texture, I'm going to go ahead. I assume I want to add another layer. Maybe. Maybe I can go to background. Do I want the sprite? No, it's not a sprite. Do I want the tile? So stretch. You know what? I just realized our tile for our background is pretty much the same color as the button. That's interesting. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it is right. Oh, well, that's how you make that. But and also apparently it could change all this. Yeah, let's go with red. No, green. I think I've just. What am I doing? Cancel. Let's try that again. Okay, so this is set to 255 to begin with. So I want to make this more white. That doesn't do anything. That makes it darker. I think alpha makes it more transparent. So what I need to do is get rid of the color. So I need to get rid of red. Then I need to get rid of these. Can I just like... Huh. I don't think this is working like I think it's going to work. Speed? What is speed? I probably shouldn't have to worry about this right now. I'm probably going to put this back to 0 just to be safe. Let me save real quick and let me run it. And it should pop up with this screen since this is our home screen. And apparently object button start draw GUI on line 25. Wrong number of arguments for function draw set via line. This one. I forgot to add it. Whoops. That's funny. Also, I know why I messed it up. Because this one's supposed to be center. And this is supposed to be middle. Save, run. Now it should work. It did not. There was an error. Line 12. Which doesn't help me because I'm doing something else. Variable object button start FNT button. It's not set before reading it. Okay. So I need to draw set wait. Draw set font. FNT button. Draw set, yep. Center. Draw set via line. Middle. Draw set color. C white. Draw text. X, Y. button text. That's right. What? Variable object button set, FNT. At least you guys can now see the error codes too. Draw event. It'd be this one, wouldn't it? What? What am I missing? Did I skip a step in the? Hold on. Just at the exit. Button text. Oh, you know what I missed? Apparently this, I read don't include quotes, but it's supposed to have quotes. That could have been the whole reason. No, it's not. Okay, what else did I miss then? So it's not the variable. Another problem is I can't see the lines of code. Source control? No. Draw set font. Object button start draw. I wonder if it's something like this. Okay, so it's the button is causing the problem. Also, that looks kind of cool. I like that as the background. So for some reason, when I add the button to the game, also that's awesome that works. When I add the image, is it because the text is blank? Maybe. Hold on. Let me just continue a little bit more and see. Oh, maybe it's viewport. Maybe actually I need to. Oh, geez. Right. I'm going to close that because I don't need that. I don't need that right now. Don't need the desk. I'm not going to worry about the player. We're going to move that room ahead. Also, the button looks weird because of the thighs. I might. Can I zoom the button? Like, actually make it larger rather than like scaling it? Because I mean, scaling is great and all that, but I want the button to be large. Actually, can I make the viewport smaller? I'm not going to do half the size. Maybe, actually. Can I? No, I cannot. So we'll do 1,000. Okay. So I need to take this number and or make this number equal this number. So wait, that looks centered to me. Why does it look centered? No, it needs to be subtracted. So half this number. So the width and then half of the remaining. So do I want it to be 1,000? Let's make it a bit You know what? 1,000 is a good number. So we need to make it half of 366, which is going to be 33 plus 150. 5 plus 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. Okay, that should be centered then. This is gonna crash. It's probably gonna crash. Yes, it is. Because I have this. How about now? Okay, viewport does not mean a thing about this. Jeez. Interesting. Okay. It's also interesting that the textures seem to be different. Like this seems to be thicker here. Especially when I zoom out, this looks thicker and then there's like a little bit thick. As soon as I zoom in, it's like, it's not there. That is a weird effect. I think it's just how it displays on monitors. So yeah, even when I look at the OBS monitor, it looks different. Like this here is big, and this one here is big. This one's here is big, and then it goes little or big, 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 big. It's like single wise. Mine has like multiple. It's also a different color, so that's interesting too. Okay, back to what I was doing. So I need to get back to the viewport setting. Clouds. Oh, that's trippy. Oh, that's really trippy. Hold on. Huh? Why does that look like soul sand stone? That one's soul sand, soul sand. That one's like diorite soul sand. That one's like a gold block. It's called blocks background. What? Wait, can I like? What does this do? Oh, perspective. Ooh, let's make it really. Oh, and it's got like shading and all that stuff too. Oh, weird. I don't know about that one, Chief. Okay. Um, boxes. Weird. Okay. Distort. Oh, that looks weird. Dots background. Edge detect. Oh, that looks really cool. I might have to use that one. Threshold. Oh, that's apparently not good too. Gradient. Oh, that's just a gradient. Large blur. Well, it's brick, so it's just everything's to go. Old film. Ooh. Oh, weird. Like it's a picture panorama. Yeah, panorama. So it's a. That's not. Is this what moves it? Yeah, sorta. Yeah, so you can like move the image around. Oh, that'd be trippy. So it's kind of like Minecraft and how they do the effect of it like rotating. Also, it only goes up to one. So I assume what happens is you have to go back to 0 when you loop. Oh, that one's weird. Pixelated. Screen shake. Not stripes. Ripples. Nope, we're not gonna do that. Underwater. That one could be kind of fun. It definitely gives a different tone to the game if I do something like this. Yeah, I actually like this. I might keep that for effects. Okay. So how do I fix this problem with my button causing crashes? Because I added it as an object. Let me save real quick. Why is my button crashing? Hover and click false. Draw and exit. There's nothing supposed to be in any of these. Where's button text at? Did I misspell something? Horizontal line, vertical line. Hmm. Um. Okay, using the GUI layer does come with one drawback. We can no longer use GameMaker's built-in events for mouse collision or built-in mouse XY variables. However, GameMaker also provides us with several functions that make mouse position on the GUI level, which we can use instead. I think I messed up on where I should put it. Also, can I like zoom into this? No, I cannot. Make it easier to read though. Okay. So I need to get back to the viewport. This viewport 0, visible. Mm, interesting. Okay. Okay, I want to make this. Oh, so that's how I center it. Oh, that's gonna be so helpful. Can I like? Nope. That's gonna zoom in. That's not gonna scale it. I've ran into the problem with now I need to make the object. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I didn't think about this. Hold on. I don't want it to scale. I didn't realize I could do this kind of stuff. Creation code? I don't want that. Okay, so that's just its place. I could change its frame. The scale is what's gonna throw me off. Says use physics, same sprite. I don't want that. Variables? No. It just flips it. And then scaling its. Okay. Error in action number 1 of draw event. Oh, thank goodness this just stays on top. Object button start. Variable object button start FNT. Not set before reading it. Hmm. So here is where it's having trouble. All right, I'm going to go back in the code on the website. I'm going to do a little bit of reading. Okay, so this is where we set up the 9th slice. That all works. Just not my button for some reason. Did I miss frame? Hold on. I may have missed an important step. Here. Frames per second, 0. That might be... if this is the issue, I'm going to laugh. Nope, okay. I still gonna laugh anyway. Middle center. Frames per second, 0, because I don't want it to animate. I think I missed that. In the create events would be 2 variables. Hovering and clicked. That leads to false. Assign variable. Hovering clicked, which these don't have any use at the moment. They're just variables that are set. So that's not going to be a problem. Go to objects, variables, definition. Button text. I hope it's not something I accidentally, or like I copied and pasted and it had like a weird space beforehand. You know what? I don't trust it now. Because I've had this problem before where I pasted text in and it got all silly on me. No. Let's see if we could debug. Oh. Okay. Oh, so this is how we get into the thing. So line 12. FNT button. Draw set font. So this is where our bug is, apparently. Unable to evaluate. So where is FNT button at? Is it because of the naming? Because I didn't name it object button. Hold on. Because I named it like object button start. Do I need it this? No, that's font button. So where's not NFT, FNT at? Draw self. So up here, it'll draw itself. Um, Draw set font. Fascinating. So it knows where to draw set font, but it doesn't know font and button. Do I do like font button underscore? Oh, I can't edit this. Draw set font. Hmm. So let's try changing this. So where's button at? So I did sprite start button. This is in the object sprite button. This shouldn't matter. So the sprite shouldn't matter at all. It should be the object. That's going to be my problem. Unless there's actually... Hold on, I want to just go back and just make sure they didn't name anything like in the 9 slice. So they have sprite button. Okay, so no, nothing. But I'm going to rename this to SRP underscore start button. There we go. Let me just keep going back in this object button. I feel like it's something to do with the name, like the object button, font button, button text. I'm not sure what I'm not understanding about this. Okay, variable defined. That's correct. I have a feeling, a suspicion that it's because this, that it's not, that it's trying to put it, it's looking at it as GUI rather than an instance. Hold on. Make that larger. Create effects, new folder, create new assets, create new path, create new tile, create new instance, create new background layer. So how do I, because this is what's giving me the error. Okay, so I can stop it, run it. It's weird it's not, the viewport, it's not. Okay, I gotta figure out how to get to viewport because this is silly. Oop, not that. Nope, not that either. Uh, Open editor. No. How do I get to viewport? Property depth. Filters. See, now it's on there. But hold on. Inspector room tile. Is it because I need to like click on this? Inspector background. Yeah, like how do I get to the tile? Because this was background. Because I find it would be weird that I can't select the background. Or not the background, the tile thing. What? Room title screen. Do I need to like click this? Oh, okay. So you click up on the tab to bring this back into view. That's a little odd that you can't like, oh, not the drop down, not the drop down. That you can't like click on this and like change between them. Unless I'm silly and it's actually like up here or something. Um, no, it does not seem to be it. Anyway, viewport. Do I need to add the button in here? Because the question is no, it's in the here. What? Delete that one. Depth? No. Maybe it's somewhere in here. Hold on. Down here. Button underscore text. XY. Draw text. That looks right. Note if you're not using the base project given above, you will need to create the NFT button font asset. So I just looked over at the screen. I now know why there's an error on this. Is because font button doesn't exist for an argument like it said in this. Like this is undefined, right? Because I haven't created a font. There's no fonts over here. This folder's empty. So let's create a font. Um, so I guess it needs to be named button. Maybe. Oh, I bet you FNT underscore button. And then we get to choose the font. Oh, yay. Look at all of them. Let's just start with impact because I like impact. Ooh, maybe not. I want something that's. I mean, Arial's nice. Maybe we'll start with Arial for right now. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. So if we go back over to this room and we see the button there, we're going to go ahead and save it. And then when we run it, we should see font. Look at that. It works. Imagine that. There was a little note on the side here where I was exactly scrolled. It's in the dead middle of the screen that says that you have to create the font asset. Okay. So now we got it to where it doesn't crash. It says default. So I assume I'm going to assume here. This right here is probably where we're going to start. Save. Yep, there it is. And I can come up here if I want to change the font size to like 18. That's a good one. Probably need to jump it up to like 36 or something like that. It's probably going to be too small. Yeah. So let's go do bold. 36. Let's run it. I just now noticed that it saves the game when you click run. Yeah, that's pretty good. The only issue I have with this so far is the texture of the button. It's just too small. I can do this two ways. I can go in there and edit it, which probably wouldn't be too hard at all to do, or I could find out how to actually size the button, because if I expand it, the button, it's the 9 thing. This right here. That's my issue. So why is that? What? Oh, weird. So that needs to actually be there. And then my top. Oh, weird. Okay. So this is wrong. Maybe. All right. Well. Okay, making the button interactable. I'll put the button in the room and place it where you should. GUI. Keep it simple since the room is the same width and height as viewport. Therefore, the GUI layer button should appear in the center of the screen. Just place it in the center of the room. Place. Wait, what? They said they have the viewport the same. Oh, great. I guess that's what I'll do then, is change this back. I could be messing something up. I'm not sure. Okay. Nope. Most of the time, the GUI layer is not the same size as the room. The trick won't work. Remember, replace the room should appear as GUI layer. Okay. I don't understand the viewport. Might just be me. Wouldn't it be funny if I made the game call for your like name, like input a name, and it's like it does nothing with it. It just throws it away. Just asks for your name, but never uses it. Um. Anyway, using GUI layer, come back with one draw. However, add a step event. Okay, so when you go back here, go back up here, add event, step, code. And then we are going to do a function call. It is going to be called position underscore meeting underscore device underscore mouse underscore x underscore 2 underscore GUI. There we go. Yeah, and I could have done this easier. There we go. And then it has another argument of ID. And then target is hover. Make sure I spell that right. I forgot the ER. Slide code tells us whether our mouse is hovering over the button of the UI space to use the device UI mouse function to get mouse's position in the GUI layer. These built-in functions take one argument, which is the device concept. When using a mouse, it'll always be device 0. The next fall. So we're going to add an if statement. Oh boy, our first if statement. And it's if expression, which goes off that. So if expression, and the expression is hovering. And we're going to add another one. Mouse underscore check underscore button underscore pressed brackets mouse button underscore left bracket. And then we're going to do an assign value, which is going to be under it. No, to the right of it. There we go. So this is if. This is going to assign the value of clicked. And the value is going to be set to true. So once they hover over it and they press the button, so not just hovering over it, but also pressing the button, because I assume the hovering is going to be the part where it changes it from 2, like the frame, to 3 once it's pressed, and then its clicked value changes to true, and then I can read that and like, oh, hey, let's go to the next screen. Okay. No, we were checking 2 conditions. Exactly. That's what I said and thought. The hovering and the check mouse button pressed. If and only if both of these are true, then I'll set the click to be true. Oh, because if you just set it mouse left click button, then it'll just start the game. So it'd just be, you click anywhere on the screen. But this one, I want you hovering over it and clicking. Okay. Next, we check for release. So, I'm not quite too sure what this falls off of. If it falls off the function. So we need another if. So it's not there. It's not there. Nope, not there. Nope. What? Where does it go? So it shows the little bracket thing going off to the side here. Okay, I think I understand. I think it's this. It's just the fact that this is. There we go. That's exactly what it looks like. Okay. It's just like it cuts off like right here. So it's hard to tell. But this is definitely right. So I assume I don't actually have a sound bite, so I'll have to find one. Mouse check underscore button underscore release. MB for mouse button underscore left. And then we're going to assign a variable to that. Variable is going to be clicked. Value of false. So this is on release. So if it's released and it's not, and its thing is set to false, so rather than like clicking on it and it playing a sound, this is after you let go on release. I assume if you click it, it might do something weird. Like it sit there and keep repeating the sound. I don't know. But yeah. So on clicked, then I need another if. I assume, yep, I could just do that. And we say hovering. Play audio, which I don't actually have an audio bite at the moment. Louis. Let me see if I can dig one up. I probably have one somewhere on my computer. Stream assets, sounds. I have one. Where I put this audio, I have no idea. Um, select an asset. Okay, so sounds. Asset sound. And they named theirs as in D for sound underscore button. We're going to put that in the sounds one and not the font. Compressed, uncompressed on load. Compressed streamed. Let's do uncompressed because I don't know if that matters. Convert for OGG only. Choose a sound file. Ah. And then I'll take my newest one. And I guess I'll throw it in the sounds folder. I'm going to just copy it. So this is, I think, my subscriber sound. Copy, paste. Hopefully that doesn't cause an issue. And then I can just set that to open. And now it should. I'm going to turn this down because I don't know how loud it's going to be. Yep. Okay. That's done. So um I don't want it to play the whole sound is the thing. So there's probably a way to do that. Sound mixer. Um, audio group default? This is not getting me anywhere. Yeah, that's not helping. I guess maybe I can set up a timer. Okay, for now, I'll just keep that as that. The fonts is fine. So now we have our soundbite, which means we can now set that to our button. Nice. It's interesting you can make it loop. Okay. Offset. I wonder if offset's what I need to play with. Because interestingly enough, it looks like there's different things. Like gain is missing from theirs, offset's missing, and pitch is missing. Maybe because I played with the settings. I don't know. Okay, so function call. We're going to call for room. Score restart. Okay, so when the mouse button is released, we can click it. We set click to false. After we set it to false, we can check if they're hovering over the button, and if they are, we could play the sound and perform the button action. For the sake of the tutorial, we started with rooms. We'll start with room reset. However, that happens when we click the button. Completely up to you. So it just restarts the room, which is that gonna cause a crash because I don't have a function for it yet? Okay. I had a feeling that was gonna be the case. The more you press it, the more it plays. Oh, that's funny. Okay. So I'm actually gonna come up here and just bump that up to be like twice as loud, maybe? Yeah. After that, we can set it to false, checking the button to play, action for the second reset. Please. On following it, complete the button's image index. Okay, so this is the part where we're gonna edit where the button like gets highlighted and not. Okay, that's the part I was wondering. I'm gonna make this a bit larger. Okay. So um I wonder if they're using an if statement. So I need to put it here. Hold on. No. I need to put this one up here. Actually, I need to put this one up here. I don't think it really matters, but it's going to annoy me if it's not in the right order. Okay, like that. There we go. So if clicked, we're going to set a variable of image index 2. And then we're going to have an else. How do I move this without it? Maybe that's right. Don't know. and then another if. Hovering. Wait a second. Hold on. Expression clicked. Is this already been done? No, because I haven't done image index. Okay. So else if expression hovering, then we're going to assign a variable to that. And then we're going to set up another else. So the else goes underneath. I don't know what I just did. I hope that's correct. Okay, it is. So that should be right. So of hovering, I'm going to do this part first so I don't skip a part. Index, and we'll change that to value 1. And this else is also going to be an assigned variable. And it's going to be image index 0. So this is going to be the default. So when you're not hovering, it's going to be set to 0. If you clicked, it's going to set it to 2. If it's not clicked and you're hovering, it'll be 1. If it's not hovering, it'll be 0. Let's try this out. It might not work. Oh, it works. That's cool. Nice. So let me just see what they do for the rest of this. If you click on the button, you'll see the image index 2. When hovering and not clicked, it'll be 1. So yeah. The entire step is geocode. This. Test it. Click to restart the room. To inherit to make the button reusable. Right now we have a button. This is useful, but you know what? But what if you wanted a second button? We could duplicate this button and change some code and make it change how the button works. We'd like to make the change to every button. When do we list of every button? This would make only having 2 buttons. If we had 10 or 20, eventually it'd be very difficult to manage. Duplicating the entire button object every time. New button will create problems down the road. Instead, we are going to use inheritance. Using inheritance, we'll turn a current button into a parent. When that button's children inherit the parent button's code, this makes any changes we make to the button parents will change the button of the children. Additionally, it means we have a way of referencing all the buttons at once by referencing the button parent. Rename this object to object button parent and remove the sprite. Okay. So we go over here. We're going to actually name this one parent. And I actually need to go in here probably and remove this before it. Maybe not. I don't know. None. There we go. Yeah, I had a feeling about that. Let's delete that. Okay. Unfortunately, yes, there was some numbers on it, but I could easily fix that because this is going to be so much easier than trying something else. Okay, so now we have it named the parent, which means everything that this does should work if we have it be inherited. So we need to in the event, create event. So here, I assume. The create event, add the following code, which is going to be a function. Oh, declare new function. We're using a new one. Ooh, active button. Or activate button. There we go. And then doesn't look like anything else. Okay. So create it with the following code. This is the method. A method is customized code that you create. You can use it to build in function. Normally, you would put the code you want to run when the method is called inside the brackets. However, in this case, we want the method to be blank. We'll override this method in the children. In GML visual, use the new function block and leave it empty. Also, I think I misspelled something. Hold on. Nope, it's just my eyes playing tricks on me. We're getting to that part. All right, end step event. Replace room restart with activate button. Okay, so we'll go up here instead of room restart. Do activate underscore button. Cool, cool. Now comes the cool part. We'll create two new objects and name them button restart and button exit. This gives them the same sprite. Oh, wait, and give them the same sprite we were using before. Okay, so we're gonna actually come over here. We're gonna do new asset objects. Okay, so let's make sure we have objects selected. I assume so. Create object. Okay, good. It does do that. And then we're gonna name this one object underscore button underscore exit. And we are going to use the sprite for button. I'm going to have to edit that texture. I'm just not a big fan of it. And then we're also going to do a new object. OBJ for button underscore, what is this one? Restart. And we're going to change its sprite to also be the start button. So those two should be now done. So we have object button exit and object button restart. Make them children of objects. Okay, so then we just have to click parent, then we click the object button parent. Object parent. Make children modify their object values and use restart and exit. Okay, so in here, edit here, we'll do this so it's easier. So this one's going to be exit. And this one's going to be restart. I'm just doing this for right now because I want to make sure that I know what I'm doing for that. Okay, last thing we need to do is right click on the create events and choose inherent. So up here on create, is that the right one? Am I? Yes. Inherit events. For each button, we'll override the button action method by recreating it. You can write the code. You can write code to have each button do something unique. For the restart button, use room restart. For the exit button, using game end. So call parent event, which is up here. And we're going to declare a new function. Okay, activate button. Then we're going to do a function call. This function is going to be room restart. Okay. This is the right one, right? No, this is supposed to be exit. Ugh. I did them in the wrong order. It's supposed to be game exit. Actually, it's supposed to be game end. No. Okay. And then I gotta do this down here. So here we'll inherit events. Declare new. And that. This one's gonna be action. Or activate. And then this will be room underscore restart. Okay. Nope, that's wrong. Hold on. I just realized that's declare new function. We want function call. I was like, why is there more options on this one than there should be? Okay. That's right. Of course, they're on top of each other in the wrong order. Okay, go to the room and replace object button parent with the new buttons, possibly position them how you'd like it, run it, everything works. To create more buttons, you just need to do this. Bonus, using sequence to animate your buttons. Oh, yes, this is what I've been wanting. Okay, so make sure we're on instances over here. We're going to add button exit down here, button restart up here. I don't want you there. I want you to be centered. Good, good. We're gonna make this one a little bit larger. There we go. This one's gonna be like a bit bigger. There we go. And if we run this, this should be set, if it doesn't crash, to, yeah, reset and then exit, which I need to apparently make them a little bit larger. Let's make them about that big. And then, of course, now I got to go find the center, which it should be there. There we go. How does that look? Yeah. And clicking the button crashes it. That's funny. I'm going to assume the reason that crashed is because I never set up the function for game end. Yeah. For the restart button, use restart. Inherit it. Hold on. I want to. What happens if I click restart? Because restart was the default. No, okay, it also crashes. Because I assume both room restart and game end I never made. Unless that's what this is supposed to be. Because I never declared those variables anywhere, or those functions. So where do I declare those functions? The step event, replace room restart with activate button. We create the two, add the parents, inherit, set up the restart and exit button to do their thing. Add this to object button exits creation. Oh, I think forgot to do that. Okay, on exit. No, this is, yeah. Yeah, this calls for the function of game end. I don't have the function. Where do I set that up at? Here? No. Uh, yeah, this is the problem is because they're using a pack. So now the question is do I go ahead and try to figure it out on my own, or do I try to find a tutorial on it? Um, to be fair, game end does actually end the game by crashing it. Lol. Is function actually a thing in here? Hold on. Sprites, tile set, timeline, shaders, sequences, maybe? Scripts, possibly. Notes, fonts, extension, background textures, animation curve, game options, room order, recent. So my question is when I clicked room restart, it didn't crash. For each button, we override the button action method by recreating it. Do I need to hold on? So restart, I'm going to okay. So the button restart, and I assume this is the reason it doesn't crash. If I hover over it and it does highlight, that means it is correct and it's taking on the parent. Okay, so they are taking on the parent by default. Not set before reading it. Step event for object button parent variable unknown object dot room button was not set before reading it. Room activation button. Is it actually the parent that's causing the issue? Room activation button, activation button. Huh? It's interesting it chooses a different things. Hold on. Wait a minute. Why did I add room? This is not supposed to have room apparently. It's supposed to just be activation button. Oh, now I feel silly. So maybe it works now? So it was the parent. Yeah, it doesn't crash now. And exit actually exits the game. Oh, so that's built in. Interesting. Okay. So for some reason, I forgot to remove the room part, or I added it when I read both of them. Weird. At least now it doesn't crash. Okay, so now we're going to animate the buttons. Sequence are a big topic and lots of tutorials on them, but here's a short and very basic demonstration. To create this animation, make a sequence asset and name it sequence menu. We're going to go all the way over here. We're going to go to assets, and we're going to create an animation, make a sequence asset. What? To create an animation, make a sequence asset. Oh, right here. Blah. I knew that. Okay. And then we're going to name it. I really hope so. This is where it wants me to name it. SEQ underscore menu. Yep. Okay. And then we'll move this to the right one. Sequences. Add your buttons to the sequence asset to make sure your playhead is at the start before continue. What? Well, I just clicked it and now. What? How does one do this? Add your buttons to the sequence asset and make sure your playhead is the start before continuing. Stretch the assets key to the track. Okay, hold on. Add the buttons to your sequence asset. So right here, I need to add the objects. Like this? Yeah, it's showing the right one. And it is at 0. Okay, good. Good, good, good. But they are on top of each other. What was that? Why did I... Oh, jeez. Sometimes I don't even know. Ooh, is this where I can actually scale things? That'd be nice. But I don't think I'm going to worry about that. I think I'm just going to change the button. Okay, so we're going to do this. I'm actually going to drag this down here, and we're going to make this a little bit smaller. Oh, this is funny. You know what I just did? I got these backwards. This is exit, and this one's reset. Oh, jeez. Okay, first things first, I want to drag that away. Actually, I'll bump it on that, and then I'll make it 2 buttons apart. Okay, so exit. Make it this size. Restart. We'll make it like. That doesn't look center. Why does it not look center? That's center. Is this one not centered? Is that? Okay. Yeah, whatever. Okay. To create this animation in sequence. Did I call it right? Sequence menu? Yes, I did. And position and scale your buttons however you like. You could see my version below. Next, add a color multiply channel to the button task. Also, I could do that. Okay, and they're in the right order. Color multiply, and I assume I need to do it on both of them. Okay. Set the alpha to 0. Yep. Okay. Move the playhead to the end of the set. Set the alpha. Okay, so we move this all the way over here. And we bump this up. This is pretty basic. So this should now fade, which it does. Good. And then do it for both buttons. So I'll set this one to alpha 0. Go to the end. Change alpha to 255. Now they should both fade in and out. And we click play. I dragged the wrong thing. Jeez. Now they'll fade. Okay. Add a key press event for spacebar. Playing the sequence. An object game. I don't have an object game. I assume I need to now make an object. Okay. Object. We'll call it obj underscore game. And we're going to add event. Add key press event. For spacebar. I'm going to call for a function and an if. Well, first I'm going to actually, oh, geez. Yep, we're going to fill in the whole. We're going to fill in as we go. I don't want to get lost back here. So where sequence underscore exists. Argument menu C S E Q U E N C E target, which is interesting, underscore seq underscore exist. And we're going to make it temporary. We're going to have seq underscore exist again and set it to not. Then we're going to call for a function to display get GUI with, as target is going to be underscore X temporary. We're going to also call for another function. This one's going to be display get GUI underscore height. Just double checking that I'm spelling it right. Underscore Y, make sure that's set to temporary. We're going to create a sequence. Where's create sequence? Oh, I'm going to have to look it up. Create instance, create sequence. And we're going to set this one up to sequence menu. And its X is going to be underscore X divided by 2. Y is going to be underscore Y divided by 2. Its layer is going to be parentheses menu sequence. Parentheses. This one's going to be sequence ID. Sequence underscore ID. And that's not going to be temporary. And then we're going to have an else statement. So an if and then an else. Oh, geez. Else, and then we're going to destroy the sequence. Which I need to actually put it there. Onto the side of the else. And then it's going to be sequence ID. Sequence underscore ID. Which I'm assuming what this does is it just destroys the sequence for ID and then it just removes it from existence once it's done. Okay. This code will create a sequence if none exist and destroy it if one already does. In the first block, the sequence is being created in the center of the GUI layer. We will use display get GUI width and height function, divide the values by 2 to get to the center. The code above creates a sequence of the layer called main menu sequence, which we'll create in a second. The sequence ID variable is we're getting here, need to institute the create event and add this line of code here. So we need to add event, create. Then we're going to assign some variables. It looks like 3 of them. We're going to have speed, a value of 1. We're going to have direction. And that's going to be 35. And then sequence ID. Which is going to be no one. Okay. Finally, go to the room and remove the buttons that already exist. Add the assets layer instead of the title main sequence. Okay. So we're going to go over here. we are going to create. Okay, first things first, I'm going to go over here to instances and we're going to delete these two buttons because that's not important. We are going to create a new assets layer and rename it to menu sequence. Okay. Now we'll run the game and hit spacebar and the buttons will fade in. Maybe. Hold on. Compiling error. Object game press key space on line 8. Wrong number of arguments in function layer sequence exists. I probably misspelled something. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna scroll back up. I most definitely probably spelled something wrong. Layer sequence exist. New SQUENCE. That is correct. Split get. No, that's right. 3 directions sequence ID. B. Wrong number of arguments for function. For function layer sequence exists. Layer function. Wrong number of arguments. Is it because I put this? Okay, why are you? No, it works. That didn't work. Let me zoom out, see if that fixes this issue. Um, no, that's right. It's supposed to go there. This line's supposed to go here. Huh. Unless there's something I misspelled. Or I did the wrong one. Create, destroy sequence, function call should be a top. Why is function call? I'm missing an argument. That might be what it is. A missing sequence ID, it appears. Hey, look, I'm getting farther. Okay. And nothing's on screen when I hit space. Does not appear anything happens. Okay, I may have messed up the sequence thing. See, what I don't get is it's showing that is coming up from the bottom. Maybe that's just me. Did I forget it? Finally go to the room and remove the buttons that already exist. Add the asset layer instead and title it menu sequence. Okay, yes. It is called that, which is empty. So my next question is why is it not doing anything? Also, is it supposed to come up by itself? Because neither it comes up by itself nor does spacebar do anything. Okay. Back to the workplace. Or workspace, I should call it. Let me scroll back up here. Create a new object, give it a sprite. Creating this game object or object game. I don't know, something just doesn't seem right about it. Like it's missing something. Make a sequence asset, name it sequence menu. Okay. Also could make these buttons a lot bigger. Start by continuing. Stretch the assets of the track. Sequence. Color. It's the alpha. This for both buttons. Make sure looping is disabled, which is by default. Oh, okay. So I shouldn't have to worry about that. Playing the sequence. Add a key press event for spacebar in the object game. So object game, key press. That is spacebar. Okay. I mean, we got this working, so it doesn't crash. So it does understand what I put in there. It's just, it's not popping up. Did I forget another argument somewhere? There's no extra arguments anywhere. That looks all right. Is create? Sequence ID none. I'm just running what it does. The first block, the sequence is being created at the center of the GUI using width and height to evaluate, divide by 2. Create a sequence and call it menu sequence. It'll create it. The code above creates the sequence in the layer called menu sequence, which we'll create in a second. The sequence ID variable that we're setting here needs to be in the create events. So add the line of code here, which is this part which we're looking at. The direction 35, speed 1, sequence ID none, or no one. Finally, go to the room and remove the buttons that already exist. Add the assets layer instead and title it menu sequence. Wrong one. Menu sequence. That looks right. Now when we run the game and hit spacebar, the buttons will fade in, and we hit it again, they'll be destroyed. Of course, we need to make the sequence go play as you want. Here are some of the buttons. Here's some where the buttons slide in. So I don't have the actual button slide in. Why is this? Where are my buttons? Where are my buttons at? It's funny. I tried to like do all this like crazy stuff, and it's like, well, did I actually add the buttons in, or did I add? Yes, I added the buttons. Viewport. Oh, they're in there. See, the thing I don't like about this is it's not actually showing me. That's interesting. Inspector is actually called room editor, and or maybe I'm in the wrong thing. And their layers is not called room title screen, it's called RM menu, which sounds a lot smarter to name it. RM underscore menu. Please don't crash. Okay. Naming it did not fix it. So it wasn't a naming issue, which I would have noticed it been an issue in this. Do I need to actually drag the game? Object game in here? Cancel. It's interesting they renamed that. Okay. Show viewers, center fit. What if I turn off viewport? Will that... I don't actually know what viewport does. It didn't explain it. Viewport background. Object follow. I assume it's important. Okay. When unchecked instance of the objects. When unchecked, instance of this object will still be processed, but will not be drawn. Maybe? Because it's not actually an object I want in the game. No, that did nothing. Solid. I don't want physics. Hmm. I feel like object game is where I'm stuck at. So can I get it to do something? Hold on, let me double check this. Okay, that's all normal. Where sequence exists? Menu sequence. Sequence ID. The CQ exists temporarily. Followed by if sequence exists not. Function called play get GY with. Let's play get GY height. Sequence menu. That sequence is there. Sequence ID is there. It's weird because I feel like it should be like play sequence, not create sequence. Yeah. I guess it's making the layer. What? So how does it play the sequence? Maybe it is there, it's just not. Unless speed's doing it. But let me see if there's any notes. I do not add notes. Yeah, why don't I have it just when it does this? Sequence exists, not. Then it will create the sequence. So if it doesn't exist, it'll create one. If it does exist, it'll delete it or destroy it. I don't know about that one, Chief. Let me try that. Never know. Nope. I wonder if using WSND is actually affecting the character in the background. Okay. Hmm. What I might try here is actually go into this one and change this alpha just to see if it exists in the game. Yeah, it's not showing up. So that's telling me the buttons don't actually exist. I'm gonna keep that like that for right now because I don't trust it. Uh, so it's not putting the objects in the room. I don't need that anymore. I don't know what just happened, but something happened when I closed it. The sequence menu is the exact same size as the room. So it's like the sequence is not actually in the room. Like this isn't doing anything. Like I can't add object game to this. So that wants an instance layer, which would be this one. Also wants me to add this into here and then play it. If this works, I'm going what the hell? Why did that work? Okay. So the object needs to exist in the world for it to work? And then clicking restart works. Okay. I don't know. I'll just add that up the corner or something like that. Or maybe I'll add it down here. Well, we fixed that problem. So now we can go over here and then change this. We are in frame 0, so we can change this as alpha back to 0. So your alpha should be at 0 too. And then your alpha should be back at 255. Maybe that was just me. Is it because it's not selected? Oh, because it wasn't selected. Okay. So the buttons work. Um, so my exit button is very interesting. I don't want to do this. Do I just add a button and call it like play or something? Because restart actually restarts. How do I... So now we're at a new point. So we've solved all the issues we've come across, other than the ones I have that I need to fix, like the desks and stuff. But my next step now is to add it to where you click play, it adds your character in the world, or like switches the scene, more or less. Also, I kind of want to get rid of spacebar and just have it automatically pop up. Can I do that? So this just, is it like you have to click spacebar for it to pop up? Do I put just text above it that says push spacebar to begin? And it's like, boom, there's your buttons. Because I want to put my next button for start up here. So restart. It hides the buttons. Restarts are really not helpful at all. And then exit doesn't actually play a sound because it exits the game. Okay. So I barely understand what's happening here, and I probably need to read into it more. I understand a little bit, but not as much as I probably should. Okay. So I should probably rename the sprite button for sprite because now it's used for multiple things. I just call it like sprite button. Like that. Oh. Oh, sprite buttons already exist. Okay. Um I'm definitely feeling like I'm having a much deeper understanding of what to do. And I definitely am getting to the point where it's going to start actually feeling like a game very soon. Okay. So, what I'm going to do, first of all, I need to figure out what function is. Like, how do I call for a function? Or maybe that's the name of the function? Function call? Declare a new function. Because I want to get it to the room. Okay, first of all, I'm going to rename this to room underscore lobby. And you're going to go down here. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter. No, because it's sorted by name, not... Okay, well, that's annoying. That should be fine, though. Okay, so you start off in this room. How do I get it to make you go to the lobby? I'm going to assume I need to start with making a new button. So I need to make object, assets, create object. This object is going to have the sprite of button. It is going to be called object underscore start underscore button start. Okay. And then we are going to grab the parent of this objects, object parent. I'm going to go over here. We're going to inherit. And I assume, hold on, can I just, because I know I can copy it over and stuff like that, but can I, is there like something about rooms? Go to previous room, go to next room, go to room. And then have it go to room lobby? Do I feel like I need like a click or something like that. Okay, let's go over to sequence menu And we're going to go back here. Actually, let's go to this. This will be easier. We are going to add the object back up in here. And I'm going to add object start. Put it there. So it's 64 away. Oh, brother. Can I think that's right. And we're going to make it larger. Like so. So if I click play now, it should crash because it doesn't know what the button is, right? So I push spacebar, but it skipped everything and just went straight to it. So whatever I did for inheriting it is not right. So I just call for the parent's event of inheriting. Button exit. Where's all the way up here, isn't it? No, down here. I wish there was a way to organize this. There might be. So this calls for the parent event. Can I like actually see this? Oh, you can double click it. It'll go to it. That's nice. Okay. I also need to define a variable. So why? Oh, and another thing I wanted to test. If I push D and then spacebar. Okay, it didn't move the character. Good, good, good. At least I know that bug's solved. Does this all still work? Yes, it does. Good. So for some reason, when I click spacebar, I don't think this is supposed to be in here. So what is the parent? Where's parent? Parent's up here. Object button parent. It takes create. Hovering clicked. Declare action button. So I need it to do action button. That's my problem. Oop. Grabbed the wrong thing. So I need to declare new function action. And then declare new function. And then do that. Declare a new function. We'll put that under there. Action. That might work now. Let's see. Because now it should. Okay, the button doesn't. I don't know why it doesn't show up. Hey, we got it to work. Nice. So now we have it where we click start, it'll start. Click restart, restart. Click exit, it will exit. So my problem is I wasn't declaring that when you activate the button to go to the room, it pretty much just, what is it? What is it doing? Hold on. So without it, it's not hovering or clicked. So it pretty much just continues off on this. So it just skips this all. Huh. I'll have to mess around with that some more because I don't fully understand it. Okay. So now when you click the go to room, you go to lobby. How do I want to do this? Because I don't want the sound to play when you restart. So what part of that parent? I need to start getting used to go to window. Like window this. It's not draw. So it's step. Step is my issue. And okay, so it's just going to happen for every button. What if I had it not inherit step? Actually, then that would be a problem, right? Because then it won't change the look. No, let's not do that. Could you imagine if I made a loop? Insanity. So let's restart. Start. What I could do for like restart is just have it not take on, like not inherit. Okay. The next thing I wanted to do was I wanted to go in here, add, multiply, all the way back here. Oh, you know what I did? I added it to the wrong way. I added it over here at 60. Whoops. That's okay. All right. I go here and here. All the way up. Okay. And now they should all come up at the same time. And this is where I'm going to use my brain because I know how this works. I'm going to have it actually come in from the bottom like they do in their preview. Also, I'm surprised they didn't just group all these together and do this. Yeah, I'm actually really surprised it didn't. Because group, there might be a reason they didn't. Like, oh, hey, it has an issue. Like, I can't see why you just do this position. So then it'll take the position of all of them. And then I say, hey, at the start, how do I edit the position? Oh, right here. Okay, which way is which? If I do 1, it moves it to the right. So I'm assuming this is going to be weird. It's going to be 10 is going to be down. Yes, for some reason 10 is down. Oh, I guess it starts at the bottom or the top left. Maybe. Yes. Yeah, because if I did 10 over here, it'd move to the right. Yeah. So just start with the top left. Okay. So we just need to get this off the screen. 600 seems a little too big. 550? Perfect. Okay. So we started at 550. Whoops. Well, I did it the wrong way around again. Okay. So we'll set this back to 0. And we'll set this one 550. So now we go back over here, put this at 0. It should. Okay, apparently I need to click that button. I mean, I'm used to that, but it's weird it worked before and then it stopped working. Okay, so now when I click play, it goes in the wrong direction. How did I do that again? I had it right and then I had it wrong. Eh? Why is that so far? I added an extra 0. Okay. Hey, let's see how that looks when I launch it. might low-key move that like there. And then it'll be there for a little longer. Maybe at like the 30-second mark. So then it feels like it comes in more all the way. Okay. I'm almost tempted to make like the buttons like animate to float around a little bit. Or like make them larger when you hover over them. Maybe. I don't know. Because I could set up frames where they're actually larger on like the image. I heard it play the sound when I clicked exit. I'm gonna have to change it. I mean, I don't really need the... I don't think I need the main stuff. Object parent. Because I don't think I need this... the steps thing. No, I do. Dang it. Maybe I add... You know what? I'll add a button sound is what I'll do. Instead of like a whole sound bite, I'll add just like a button press sound for this. So I'll change this out. All right, let me just make sure everything's in the right folder. Save. And honestly, that's might be where I'm going to leave it for today. Get a lot done. I mean, I did something that I, without a tutorial, which so far works good. So we have buttons. Push spacebar, it starts. But what I might do, besides slowing down the animation, maybe just a touch. I might add like a title up here. That'd be nice. Yeah, title. I don't want it to be a button. I could make it a button. It'll have to be an object, of course. I also need to think of a name for this, like Death Tycoon or something like that. I'd also like it to like fade in. Another thing I could do is I could set this up to like have a story almost play. And then have it where if you press spacebar, it skips it kind of thing. I'm just kind of sitting here right now thinking about like what I could do, like having them like animate and talk and stuff like that. Like when you go up to your receptionist desk or something like that, you say, "Any new jobs?" Because it's gonna be a tycoon, but I want some different thing about it. Some way you can make money that doesn't involve just sitting there. Like a bonus money. So you can have fun playing the game, but also you can just sit there and have it auto. Like maybe it makes you more powerful over time. It's like a Vampire Survivor kind of game. And the more time you spend playing, the stronger you get. So you could just leave the game open and you become stronger. I'll have to figure out saves and all that too. I'm not sure how to save that like in a game file and how to load it. Because what I might do is have like a 3 saves file kind of thing. Or maybe I'll have it like a tycoon where yes, you upgrade your like minions almost, but then you can go out in the world and collect souls and certain souls. So there'll be like an inventory that different souls will have multipliers to different people. So you might get one that is like really good. for one, but you can only equip a certain amount. And then when you like upgrade them, you can have multiple slots for them. So what I'll probably do next time is we'll work on like inventory maybe, or maybe like laying out more of the level, because right now do I have, yeah, I do have room lobby. So I have this kind of thing, and I could always move them around and all that. I need to clean this up. I might delete this, clean this. I need to figure out how I want him to start or where for him to start so I can get the basics down. This is crazy. I never thought I'd get this far. Because I always had the thing where it's like, oh, it's boxes are too complicated. Code is like a pain in the butt. You can't learn. Now that I know the boxes, now it's becoming a lot easier. Would I've rather learned this in coding? No. Here's why. Coding, yes, it's great, but I'm definitely more visual. Just seeing those texts, you just get lost in it. That's, yeah. It's definitely probably a lot easier to code because it only takes like 3 lines of code and then boom, you get your thing done. Where this takes like 18 different steps of creating things, typing things in, and all that, where you just go boom, 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 boom. 3 lines of code done. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day of your evening, night, morning, afternoon, no matter where you are in the world. You're all beautiful people. See you then.